last of all is Yahoo Sports. Read and react. President Trump wants college football this fall. Ugly details emerge in Darius Juice domestic violence arrest. Uh-oh. A's Laureano regrets charging Astros coach because he's a loser. Wasn't worth your time. Brett Favre on kneeling. There's no right answer. Buzzer beaters, we've missed you. Kuzma lifts Lakers with last-second three. Let them play by Jay Busby. Morning, friends. The biggest sports topic in the country right now is about a sport that might not even take the field in 2020. Sometimes there are no good options. Sometimes the choice is only between horrendous and devastating. The entire 2020 college football season sits on the precipice of oblivion. Teams and conferences alike are wrestling with the question of postponing or canceling their most precious, prized, and valuable asset. They are balancing questions of safety for players against certainties of financial and emotional hardship, and they're trying to make this decision for a sport where passions run among the highest and hottest in the country, where any choice will bring down nuclear heat. Good luck with that. Put simply, playing means accepting the possibility of dire health consequences. No sport is worth the life of even one player, and a full college football. These young athletes are not going to die. God damn it. The fucking perspective is so screwed up. Like you say, possibility of them getting sick. It wouldn't be dire health consequences. They are athletes. They are young. Very young. And anybody who has some sort of underlying health condition that somehow allows them to still play football but would not be good news with the COVID, they can opt out. That doesn't mean you have to ruin it for everybody. And I don't even watch college football. I don't give a fuck about college football. I care about it only as much as it gives good players to the NFL. But I know that it is some people's entire lives. The players, for one. And it's fucked up to take that away from them. And a full college football season would have 13,000 players. On the other hand, not playing means the absolute certainty of loss. 8- and 9-figure revenue shortfalls, opportunities missed for players, the disappearance of shared experiences of hope and community for millions of college football fans. Does the risk of venturing forward outweigh the certainty of shutting down? That's the question the entire country has wrestled with over the last 5 months, and now it's college football's turn. Following in the wake of players, a coterie of coaches are speaking out in favor of keeping the season going. Ohio State's Ryan Day, Penn State's James Franklin, Michigan's Jim Harbaugh, and Alabama's Nick Saban among them. Well, they make a shit ton of money. I think, in this case, what the players have to say about wanting to play holds a little more weight. Players are a lot safer with us than they are running around at home, Saban said. Our guys aren't going to catch the virus on the football field. They're going to catch it on campus, he added. The argument then should probably be we shouldn't be having school. That's the argument. Why is it we shouldn't be playing football? As Saban said, the virus remains a clear and present danger at universities that choose to discontinue football but still bring students back to campus. The risk of travel would be gone, but the risk of transmission on a college campus remains a constant possibility. We know a lot more about the panic than we did in March, but there's still so much that we don't know. We don't know how well testing will scale up in the coming weeks and months. We don't know if a vaccine will be widely available in time to preserve even the 2021 season. We don't yet know the long-term effects of COVID-19 infections. We also don't know the long-term effects of any vaccine that is developed in time for the 2021 season. But for some fucking reason, that's what we're all waiting for, suddenly. First, we were just supposed to be flattening the curve. You know? Remember that? That means that doesn't mean stop everybody from getting it. That means make everybody get it a little bit slower. That's all that fucking means. And all of a sudden, it's destroy the whole fucking world until you get a vaccine, which might not even work, which might have dire health consequences further on down the road because you won't have time to actually do any long-term testing before you roll it out for everybody. This makes me so fucking mad. What we do know, what we've seen already, is that the absence of an activity, a sport, a business, a community, has disastrous effects. Yes, thank you for saying that. It's worth just considering what options are still possible to avoid that certain devastation. That normally there's a lot that I disagree with these Yahoo writers, but the theme of this one, boiling it down to possibility versus certainty, this is something that I also think about, that I completely agree with, because with the mask situation also, there are doctors' offices that make everybody that enters the building wear a mask the entire time they're there. And in particular, I'm speaking about OBGYN offices that, obviously a lot of their patients are pregnant. A lot of their patients are pregnant in their third trimester. And a well-known side effect of the third trimester is shortness of breath. And the CDC specifically says that anybody who has trouble breathing should not wear a mask. And yet, there are doctors' offices that have this sweeping rule that everybody has to wear a mask. Even those that the CDC says should not wear a mask. Because the possibility of avoiding possible infection with a disease that has a extremely low possibility of killing you, that's more important than consideration for individual patients. Doctors are fucking breaking their oath because they won't have any regard for individual patients. In deference to the perceived safety of the collective. So this whole possibility versus certainty thing, it's a certainty that if you have shortness of breath, if you have trouble breathing, it's a certainty that you should not wear a mask, according to the CDC, which is the experts that supposedly everybody's supposed to be listening to, right? Of course, there's also the WHO, which social media seems to care a whole lot about. I haven't looked at what they say, but I can't imagine it's much different. Anyway, the Big Ten, I believe it was, chose to postpone until spring. So that sucks for them. But then there were a couple of other conferences that had already chosen to go ahead with the fall schedule, I believe. And they announced that they will still be doing it despite what the Big Ten does. So that's good. Continuing on. Bushnell. College football players hold Zoom call to save season. Well, if they're Big Ten players, they failed. Thamel. Could Trump's tweet make college football election issue? everything is made into an election issue, honestly. And it's not necessarily Trump's fault. Paylor, what does it mean for the NFL if there is no college football? Well, a lot of players have announced that they're opting out and are just going to prepare for the draft. So, apparently there are people expecting to be in the draft. COVID finally pays off. Just think, had this lucky fan actually been at PNC Park, the ball never would have come their way, right? What? Surprise! During a Pirates home game, a foul ball landed in your seat at PNC Park. Robbie Inamikoski. Inkmakoski at AT&T Sportsnet happened to grab it for you, and you'll find it enclosed. We wish you could have been here in person to make the catch yourself. Hopefully we'll see you back in your seat at PNC Park in 2021. But until then, enjoy this memento. They spelled that wrong. It's memento, not momento, but whatever. Enjoy this memento from the 2020 season. Thank you for your consistent support and loyalty to the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Let's go Bucks! The Pittsburgh Pirates. That's nice. Just think, had this lucky fan actually been at PNC Park, the ball never would have come their way, right? How does that make sense? Whatever. Anyway, that's the end of Sundry Sports for today. Thank you, and good night.